Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka The Weather Gamer, bringing you APA Indigo Season 4 season recap. It was a long, winding season. It really was. At one point I thought I was done. The next point, the season turned around and we actually managed to qualify for playoffs, which I'm really impressed. If you add up my win total from the first 3 seasons of APA, I had 8 wins. I got 7 this year. Or this season, so I almost doubled my career win total. However, this is going to be the last season of Indigo for me for a while, and Cammy and I will talk about that in the Underdogs podcast, but that's all I'm going to say for right now is Indigo is now on the back burner for me, but that's that. Take a look here. Indigo, 7-5, +1 differential. Finished in 10th. We ended up losing 1-3 in 3-0 in quarterfinals. So, first time since WWC Season 1 where I haven't made semis after qualifying. It's fine. Biggest takeaway, Galar decks is not fun. I don't like Galar decks leagues. There's just such a limit on the mons, there's such a terrible speed combination. It's just not, it's not my cup of tea. So, don't expect me to do any more Galar decks only leagues other than Academy because it's Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is kind of Galar decks only until Home comes out. So don't expect any more Galar decks ones from me. Yeah, no, so I broke when I talked about the Mount Silver, and sorry, I'm going to fix this because I can see my borders are off and it's bothering me. There we go. When I did my Mount Silver recap, I broke out Gen 7, Gen 8. Well, now I've broken out playoffs. I've also gotten playoffs counted in the careers as well. So for Gen 8, career-wise, we're 76-1-9. We played 185 games. Well, I mean, I've got WWC and NCL games played, but those aren't in the count. Minus 148. I'm going in the wrong direction again, still. Trying to get that under minus 100 by the end of the year. We'll see. But 76 career wins. If I do really well, if I turn around NCL and do well, Academy goes well, and WWC goes well, you get close to 90, I think. Which would be really cool. Gen 8, we're 9-12, minus 17. This is something that I can catch and chase down and get better by the end of the year. This, to look nice, will take a while, but this is something I can get positive, I hope, by the end of the year. Playoff career record now, we're 3-6, minus 15. For Gen 7, that's where that came from. In Gen 8, we're unfortunately 0-1, but, you know, that's it. The other note, is to trust my front office. This season was a very rocky, difficult season for the front office and myself, as well as Mount Silver, and it carried over a little bit. Really, it's been this generation. It's been bad. APA and Mount Silver. I really had issues with the front office where I was arguing with them a lot. I was getting into fights with them, and then I'd use their sets and it would work out. And I need to just trust the front office a little more. There are times where I need to stick to my guns because that has helped me. But at other times I need to just shut up and let the front office dictate because I'm not the greatest person at building, but they're helping, and so I need to help. I need to listen and take their advice sometimes because it does help. As far as our what is this video about? Okay, yeah, so there's no spoilers by showing this. As far as how'd the season go, I mean, we started off losing 3 of our first 4 before we turned around and picked up to win 4 of our next 6. We got a forfeit win. But the back end of the season, we ended up winning 6 out of 8, which is really good. Obviously, the loss in playoffs sucks, but I turned it around. We made some critical team changes. We had some help come into the front office to try and shake things up, and it got better. It really did. It's interesting. I used to be pretty decent for a while at week 1, and then I'd lose, and now kind of overall trend is me for lose week 1. It's a weird trend that's been going on, but we'll see. Several misplayed battles like early on, a couple of things that went sideways, but these 2 battles in here in particular were really bad, where I had some tilt and some other things go on, and I'm changing my philosophy to how I do matches. I've normally been pretty open to people. I've been like, oh yeah, sure, this doesn't work, I'll be flexible for you and do that. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to give you my time, except for WWC, because that's my league and my coaches, and I want to take care of them. But this is the new policy for me going forward across all leagues. I give you my times, we agree to a time, you don't show up, you want to at me when I'm not available. I'm not going to try and make time out of my day when I'm busy doing other stuff to play that match. Take it up with the commissioners, go ask for an extension. I will fight you for a forfeit if you try to pull a forfeit because I wasn't around. It's just not going to happen. I had way too many of those happen to me in APA, especially too late in the season, that really got me on edge because I was rushing and, you know, I couldn't think clearly, and that because I started getting anxiety and hyped up because I'm trying to do multiple things, and God, I gotta go play this match because they're ready and all that. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I know it's causing me issues, and I'm not gonna put myself under that stress and all that. So when I schedule with somebody and they don't show up, I'm not gonna bend over backwards anymore to help get things taken care of. Show up or not. So, sorry, that's my little rant about that. Something I had been needing to get off my chest. Anywho, so going into the Mon records, and talking about the team and all that, this was a very interesting team. Went through a few changes. Again, Galardex sucks, so personal opinion there. Necrozma moved into the top 10, pushing Mega Gallade out. The last time I used Necrozma was APA Season 1, and it went 3-7, and I wrote it off as a terrible Mon. This season it picked up 14 kills against 8 deaths, and it really went off late in the season once I was getting help from the front office on how to use it correctly. Necrozma is scarily good in Gen 8, and it's a Mon that I will be keeping my eye on. It basically, Necrozma was APA's Goodra from NCL. NCL Goodra went off after I thought it was a terrible Mon. Necrozma went off even though I thought it was a terrible Mon. I will be revisiting Necrozma again, and because of the success with Goodra and Necrozma, 2 Mons that I've had terrible luck with the first time around, I'm going to start looking at some of these Mons that I've written off in the past. Maybe look at trying them again, because this proves that my skill set at the time was bad, and it's gotten better. So, Necrozma moving into the top 10 at 8. Rabombi comes inside the top 20 with a 13-12 differential. Third time I've drafted it. I know I've been drafting Rabombi a ton. It's because Sticky Webs, and I have it in WWC. Do I have it in NCL? I don't think I have it in NCL. I don't have it in NCL. But I have it in WWC, and I had it in Academy the first time I drafted for Academy, and I don't know, it's a good fairy and bug type with webs and a great speed stat, but I'm getting trapped like I am with Greninja. Sorry, I just shook my whole desk. I'm getting into that trap that I fell in with Greninja, where I drafted it over and over and over again, and I need to try other webbers. I need to try... Orbeetle is a fantastic webber. I want to try that at some point. Galvantula I've always been wanting to try. So I need to expand from the webbers out a little bit, so in case B gets sniped, I have backup plans. But Rabombi this season went 6-8, so I had kind of a down season, but a lot of what I was ending up doing with Rabombi was scarfing it, just because I needed the speed stat, because Galardex. and I faced Dracloaks twice, so. But yeah, Rabombi, 13 and 12, +1 at 15th position. Haxorus. This is a mon that I've been dying to try for a long time. I'm a little disappointed in its output this season, but I think that's because Necrozma ended up outshining it once Necrozma started getting going. Haxorus is a phenomenal dragon type. You guys know that I'm a dragon master. Oh god. Rabombi and Necro pushed Haxorus and Kyurem out of the top 20, so I don't have as many dragons in my top 20. In my top 25, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of my top 25 are dragon types. So I'm still a dragon master. It's just a couple things got shoved down. But no, Haxorus is actually really, really good. There's some clean tech. I've tried doing the seed with terrain seed now twice, which is actually really kind of cool. It's a great DD setup sweeper. Under webs, Swords Dance is very good. Banded is very good. Banded First Impression has saved my butt so many times this season. It's not even funny. Got Close Combat this generation, which makes it even better. Haxorus is a very potent, lethal dragon that I had so much fun using. And I would say that it's almost dethroned... I want to say it's almost dethroned Megachomp is my favorite dragon type to use in the format. Like, it's just such a good mon. I really, truly enjoy Haxorus, so... We'll see. I'm a little disappointed it only got 11 kills, but at the same time, it got 11 kills, which is pretty good. That's on par with Kyurem Black. It just didn't die as often as Kyurem Black, so... You know, I'll take it. But Haxorus sliding in at 22. And we gotta go down a little ways here to get to the next one. Flareon. Okay. This is one of the biggest surprises. Flareon was a mid-season pickup. We dropped Rapidash for it, because Rapidash just wasn't working for me. Flareon is... I think Flareon's my highest rated evolution, too, if I remember correctly. Let me double check here. Find the evolutions. It is my highest rated evolution. I have not had a lot of success with evolutions. Jolteon is my worst used from a output standpoint. Espeon's not far behind it. Umbreon was decent but doesn't get a lot of kills. Vape I've only used once and is typically pretty bulky. I've never drafted Leafeon, Glaceon, or Sylveon. Sylveon's on the to-do list. Leafeon, Glaceon, not so sure about, but for coming in mid-season and getting 5 kills, I'm very impressed. Flareon is actually a really fun mon to use. Gut Set under webs, very good. That's why you see it on my academy team. Because it's a good, in Galar decks, it's a good fire type. Flash Fire is really nice. It's actually Spadef defensive, can be. We ran a defensive Flareon this season, which was really cool. I didn't think that was possible. We also ran a special Flareon, which again, really kind of cool. Flareon has a lot of utility. It's a Wish Passer, not the greatest Wish Passer, but it's still a Wish Passer. It's a Cleric because it can have Heal Bell from previous generations. I'm really excited to try Flareon again, especially in Wi-Fi. Flareon was sneakily good, and honestly, probably from a draft league, it's my favorite evolution to use right now. From a design-wise, it's pushing a couple of evolutions now, too, because Flareon found a soft spot in my heart. It was a good mon. Checking in at 42 here. Corviknight, the mascot. Okay. So, I know Corviknight can be good. I'm really disappointed with how Corviknight went this season. It's a defensive wall, but it also can set up and be really, really annoying. I learned the value of Mirror Armor. You definitely want to run that. Cough, Photon, Strength zapping me. Oh, that was a rough game, but... No, Mirror, it's a better version of Skarmory in my opinion. It just doesn't set hazards, but again, how often do I set hazards? The biggest thing that killed Corviknight this season was unfortunate burns. I kept getting burned on Corviknight so many times. But Corviknight is a mon that I will be going back to. I want to try it out with a different team, with a different playstyle, where it doesn't necessarily have to sit there and be a defensive wall. Because I have seen in the WBE what Corviknight can do. And I would like to have my mascot do well for me. It's one of the few flying steel types. Well, there's only 3, but it's actually a flying steel type that I'd want to use again. So, fortunately, it checks in at 48, but you know, that's not terrible. It beat Mega Medi, so it beat Boo. That's the most important thing. Roller down here again. Dracloak. Okay, so Dracloak and Haxorus, you don't need both. I literally drafted Dracloak for the speed stat, and because I couldn't have Dragapult. I would rather draft Dragapult or another dragon than Dracloak. It's not that good, unfortunately. It's just not that good. So, that you won't see again. Just wasn't very good. And it comes in at 79. I think it's probably my lowest rated dragon besides Noivern. Thinking about it. Rhyperior. Okay, this is a mon that can do so much and so little at the same time. Just because I built terribly around it a lot. I never did bring... I brought the same set. I was either defense or Spadef tank. So, I don't know. I need to go back to the drawing board, especially with Academy on the horizon, and give Rhyperior another shakedown. And see what I can come up with, because it could be a good mon. It's got decent coverage. It's just didn't go well this season. And it checks in at 93 overall. If there's Espeon. Good God, where... Oh, no, Flygon's my, I think, worst rated dragon. There's Trevenant. Came to 1 game and died. I don't really care for it. It was there because I needed a grass type and Trick Room support, but didn't last very long. Don't have much to say about it. There's Rapidash. Again, it was a mon that I thought could do decently, and it just never did. It doesn't have the output, the power output that's needed for a fire type. Flash Fire was nice, but its speed stat wasn't... I don't know. It just didn't have the output. I don't really care for Rapidash as a mon. I love its shiny, like it's got a cool shiny, but from an output standpoint, Rapidash is just lackluster in my opinion. So, Cramorant 1 and 4. Cramorant I learned has some sneaky sets, but Cramorant as a mon, kind of cool, but also not one you'll see me draft again. If it's right up in there with Pelipper and Swanna as annoying water flying types that I just don't care for. I had some fun with it, but it wasn't a mon that I want to use again, basically. Like, he's a good boy, but not the boy that I'm going to use again. So, Cramorant checked in at 122. Just keep scrolling. I mean, it did better than Pelipper, so... Scroll through all, there it is. Yeah, okay, so yeah, these 3 all got grouped together, and I think that's it. Yeah, Noivern's my worst rated. So. Morpeko, Boltund, and Thwackey. Honestly, I wish I'd kept Boltund over Morpeko. Morpeko never did anything for me. It sucks, because Marnie is Bae, and I couldn't use Marnie's Mon. I just never could get Morpeko right. It just never felt comfortable, never came. And yeah, I much preferred Boltund. Boltund had much better coverage and better speed stat in this thing, and better, just overall I thought Boltund was better. So I should have dropped Morpeko and picked Boltund back up, but I didn't have a dragon type or a dark type, and I didn't really want to get swept by a psychic type, so because Dracloak is not the best psychic check, so that's why I held on to it. And then Thwacky. Thwacky was an interesting addition. I think if I had it sooner in the season, I might have been able to do more with it. I wish it got a rock move, because I believe Rillaboom gets a rock move. It would have been so much better if Thwacky had a rock move, but it doesn't, unfortunately. It's a nice, cheap budget grassy terrain setter if you do not have grassy terrain, because you missed out on Rillaboom or something else in your points based and you just need a cheap grass type. Thwacky actually can be pretty decent. I want to experiment with Thwacky more if I happen to lose Rillaboom. Obviously, I've got Rillaboom in WWC, and I'm excited to try that one out, so we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be it for the team and for APA for the time being. I appreciate all the support from this season from you guys, and Corviknight fans, I'll see you in Academy. APA fans, I'll see you in Academy. The rest of you, I'll see you next time, and we'll see when we come back to Indigo. I will come back to Indigo at some point, it's just the foreseeable future, probably not. So, see you guys next time.